Hello everybody, and thank you all for watching this new episode of How to DIY on this rainy day, as you can hear in the background. But today we're going to go over the 7 ways how you can lock your diff for crawling, drifting, or if your diff is slipping. And the first quick dirty method that you can use is out clay or Play-Doh, but it's a little bit soft and will give you a little bit of play because it's so soft and will not make a permanent lock diff. You can remove it later on and you just stuff it in the spider gears and in the big spider gears and then close it up and it will lock your diff. But of course, before you do all that, you have to degrease the diff. That's why we went ahead and already degreased it and disassembled it out of the transmission case. If you wonder how to do that, then I want to refer you to your car manual to see how you have to disassemble your transmission case to get to your differential. But it's pretty simple. In my case it was only 4 screws. But let's get back to the second method, how you can lock your diff. And that's by very simple, using hot glue. Hot glue is very quick and dirty. You just stiff it up, fill it up, close it up. Of course you do this on both sides, because there's another side on this side of the spider gears that you also have to fill it up with hot glue. But again, it is not a real permanent solution and it will still have a little bit of play in your diff, and we want to really have it locked. The third way, because this is a plastic diff, we can use some super glue. Simple, easy and cheap. You probably got it at home, but I prefer something really better, a lot better, and this is 2-component epoxy. That works really best, makes it really stiff and tighten up the diff really the way we like it and love it. Wow. Wow. Oh my, it's really going hard. If you have a metal diff, you can also use GB Weld, as most people in the USA will do, or 2-component metal glue for the people in Europe. Then there's also a way that you can use like body clips to stiff in between the gears to make them lock up. But this body clips are a little bit too big and you should make them a little bit smaller. Of course you can use then paper clips because it's so micro in my case. Or for the really lazy people, you can buy a metal lock diff. I only paid 11 euros for it, so it's pretty cheap. And it's completely locked and stiff. It's a pretty nice option from the Shinobi Mini Q, but it's only for the Wltoys K989 or your Kyoshi Mini Z. But you probably got one for your personal RC car as well. And from all the methods that I've shown, I'm gonna use my favorite, and it is of course 2-component epoxy. But before that I have to prepare the table, so we'll be right back in a second. And we are back. We have prepared the table and just have to mix up the epoxy 50-50%. Hopefully that's enough, and we should be pretty quick because you got only plus minus 3 to 5 minutes. And just make sure you mix it properly, and let's start the operation. And you want to really stuff every teeth until it's full, so the small spider gears will really glue to it. And then add an extra bubble. I'll take it in. And then we're gonna add the second half back on top of it. See if you do it the correct way. Then we have to stuff the spider gears back into it the correct way. First we have to make sure it settles correct. Yep, the case is settled. Oh, what a fiddly job this is. I'll take it in, and then we add some more epoxy on top of that, over the spider gears and a little bit in the middle. Pretty nice job, I think. I don't have enough light, but the sun disappeared behind the rain cloud, so let's add a few more drops on the other side. and then disassemble everything, of course. And you have to be pretty quick, because if you feel it's starting to get a little bit gluey, let's stiffen up. And then you only got like a minute or so. So you have to do this pretty quick. I think that's enough. Make sure the holes line up. Everything's good. And then press it together and screw it back on. And that's how simple you rebuild your diff. Make sure your bearings are tight, really tight on its place. Don't miss a mil or a half mil, it needs to be perfect. But let's clean up the table and do this without the epoxy. Yep, we'll be right back. And in the meantime that we have to let the epoxy dry, we have assembled the diff 2 back in the transmission. And now we're going to test if it's really locked. And there's still a little bit of play, but it is the dog bone itself inside the transmission case. But we can lock that up later on with spacers. I really hope you like this video and give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't, then give it a thumbs down. And of course, subscribe for the next episode in this upgrade and mod series, where we're going to add reduction gears, so we get more acceleration instead of top speed. And we're going to extend the wheelbase, and that will be giving us a lot more stable drifting car in the corners. A lot bigger wheelbase is good for the corners. And I hope you subscribe for that. And I want to say goodbye. Until next time.